Thank you everybody for joining us this evening and taking time out of your evening to come and support such a worthy cause, the Artists Against Pipelines.
Fulfillment of a prophecy that came forward thousands of years ago, that this day would come when all of the peoples of the world would unite, knowing that they would have to come together to save Mother Earth. We're all familiar with the devastating impacts of global warming and climate change and the impact it's having on high mortality rates of wild salmon.
With events like this, how do you find that the arts community helps your cause, what you're fighting for?
And listening to a lot of the groups that were performing, I can hear a lot of language about the environment, about protecting it. Also good for raising funds are needed, whether it be for a legal battle or whether to feed the people that come to the fronts. And there's all kinds of ways, and I believe this event is raising money for protecting the waters, protecting the salmon, protecting wildlife, so that it could be there for the next 7 generations.
Is there anything else that an artist can do in order to support your cause between events like this where there's fundraising? What can an artist do that can help you?
Probably spread the message, because they have the stage all the time and there are many diverse groups that come to events like this, and if there's a lot of new faces, share with what the truth of what's really going on.
Water protectors, yes, yeah. Hip hop music, it goes a little something like this. I wonder why.
I am a frontline water protector. Did a lot of work out at the resistance camps north of the Standing Rock Reservation, fighting for the water. It means the world. I'm fighting for Mother Earth. I'm fighting so that our next seven generations are going to be able to have clean water. You know, that's what we fight for, and that's what we put our lives on the line for. So I speak about this type of stuff in my music as well, talking about, you know, how letting our ancestors guide us and being one with Mother Earth, and understanding that we are all one. We're all here together, and there's no separation between us. We are all one. We are all one living and breathing entity, and I want to use my music as a way to express that, you know.
Can you teach me how to garden? Can you teach me how our ancestors harvest? Can you show me how to put life back in the yard, in the soil of the earth that we walk? Is it really hard? Can you teach me the importance of growing my own food?
We spent a lot of time at Standing Rock. I was there in August, all the way until we were forcibly removed last month. And we gave up we put our whole lives on hold to be a part of that movement. We were a part of a specific camp that did nonviolent direct action to stop the pipeline in the beginning months, all the way up until they released, denied the easement in December, and people thought it was a victory and went home. We continued to stay there, and we lived in Mongolian yurts. We lived in a couple teepees, and we lived through really harsh blizzards.
I started writing music and releasing music in the early like 2011, 2012, and at the time when I was releasing that kind of music, it was resistance music, to tell the truth about where we're from and what we go through and what the kids go through, because I was that kid on the res, you know, holding a gun to my head one night, you know what I mean? So to talk about that reality is something I really wanted to do.
Took me back to those dusty roads. A little reservation town is where I call home, where we don't have much, but my people are strong, finding wisdom within. Tradition in that language living. This is life for us third world kids, still hiding water in the wind. I've been finding beauty.
Gaatich Uklas Ish Valin Jewel Sistitis Nuchonal Ukish Kukwakiwak Nations. I am a spoken word artist and a frontline worker as well. I started writing poetry 2 years ago, shortly after I dropped everything for the movement of decolonization and for Mother Earth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. This acknowledgement is treated as an apology, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I am not impressed with white mediocrity. So I dial 1-800-1492. Hello, Grandma. It looks like the ship of oppression is coming ashore. I'm going to need you to sink it. Decolonial love, I feel like, is incredibly simple yet complex. And I think it's simple because you see it in the babies, so fresh from the womb and so fresh from the spirit world. And it's just present at all times. And it's complex in the way that how can we express it in a society that is lost right now, in a society that is immersed in capitalism and is immersed in a status quo and a daily narrative. So decolonial love, largely what it means to me is just like a space to grieve together and to grow together and to be grateful together. It has this gravitational pull that brings us back to the earth that we depend on.
Decolonial love, I guess, would be basically just decolonizing for the sake of the Mother Earth. And if people know what colonization means, of what was done during colonization, decolonization is just to reverse all those effects that have happened because of colonization. Our planet is suffering, and if we decolonize and reverse everything we've done, we have a hope of saving ourselves. Because I know we keep saying we're destroying our planet. The planet will never be destroyed. It will replenish itself, even if it takes thousands of years. But we, as a human race, will not survive if there's nothing sustainable in this planet to sustain us. So we need the earth in order to sustain ourselves as humans. So our ancestors always told us, like our elders said, the first thing to go is our wildlife and our animals. When you start seeing those get extinct, who's going to be the next that'll be extinct? It'll be us as the human race.
What's our first step towards decolonial love?
Educating yourself and finding ways that you can minimize your impact on this environment. And number one, protect water. Because water is life, and without that water, none of us will survive.